have seen the clamor for a lot of people trying to break Guinness record in recent time, right? There's tons of people trying to break Guinness record in time, and the question comes around: does Guinness World Record pay? Guinness record do not pay. Literally, you pay Guinness World Record depending on the level of record you're breaking. So people pay as much as £12,000 to break a record. If you ask, who was our first president to a lot of young people now, they struggle with it. Who is on 10 naira notes? Some people don't even know. I was like, okay, what can be the best medium of telling this story? We said, let's use animation, which is the best form of storytelling, where young people, children, can listen, can watch, and learn from our story itself. My name is Adetun Ashodende. I am an artist and also the co-founder of Slum Art Foundation. I also am an art educationist. So my growing up was very challenging, actually, traumatic. Art is not what is majorly celebrated when we were growing up. I was born in the 80s, and early life of, as in my primary school days, when I draw, my parents, my uncle beat the hell out of me that, have you ever seen a successful artist in your life? Have you ever seen an artist that made it in life? Over the zero-side artist, Olomaje. And it's a bit of challenge for me. And so I attended Faculty of Education Technical Akoka, where I studied art education and became a fine art teacher. It was challenging for me to even study that, actually, because when I was in secondary school, I did 16 subjects. I was both a science student and an art student because my mom always wanted me to become a doctor. Then I was also a stammerer also. I wanted to become a lawyer. So my dad laughed at me like, you that you are stammering, how can you become a lawyer? So I was confused. So it says when I did 16 subjects, I did both art subjects and I did science subjects. When I finished WAEC, I had 2 WAEC results. I have science subjects and I had art subjects as my results. I finished NC in 2006 and I had an extra year. My extra year was because I needed to make a bit of money when I was in my final year. So we went to the computer training program. And I had an extra year because we couldn't face education any longer. So I was like a batch for the family. I couldn't go to university immediately after NC. So in 2010, an idea came to our head. So a friend of mine, his name is Yusuf Dodola, and he said this in Yoruba, and so much in continue, she would join your. So we said, let's break a Guinness World Record. Everybody laughed. So we started the journey, 2009. We were doing research, pushing everything to break a Guinness World Record. But we could not. We don't even understand to break a Guinness World Record then. Then we compiled everything together in 2010 and we say, let's do something remarkable. Let's put Nigeria in the globe. Let's do something that can talk about Nigeria at 50. And we decided to make a painting inside of the football pitch to tell the Nigerian story and let people know more about the culture, people, climate, and things around Nigeria. This was done in Jakonde Estate in 2010, October 10. It took us 10 days to paint, and that was what gave us our first Guinness World Records. As young artists just trying to make a statement that art is something that can be celebrated. Art is something that you can make the best out of if you put your mind and your thoughts and your visions to it. Actually, that's it. That was the beginning of the Guinness World Record journey itself. First was the most challenging because we have no direction. A lot of brand managers laughed at us. I can remember people looking at us and say, you want to break a Guinness World Record? Are you sure you know what you're doing? My friends, my parents even laughed at, are you sure you are? What's the size again? Football pitch. It was crazy. People can't even see what we're about to do. It's now breaking record is quite small because there's now a blueprint. There's now a roadmap to breaking Guinness World Record. But when we did our Guinness World Record in 2010, it was crazy. I had crazy friends that just believed that I would just say they just followed me blindly. Like, so what should we do next? And it was like, I'll share some of the pictures with you. It was like people, as in blind man, they lead blind man. That was how the record happened itself. Because when we break a record, it's inside a football pitch. And we couldn't even see what we were painting because we didn't have a drone then. Then when it was day 4, I said, how will we see this thing? Then one guy just said, you know what, you guys need what they call a crane. You don't have the money, don't worry, we'll just borrow you, don't pay. Because when they saw it, they're like, I'll leave you some. Everybody came forward and I said, come and see what you are painting. Then it's like, then people in the community, I've always enjoyed community support. I don't know how that just happened. They just rallied around me. I would have called in Jack on the estate where I grew up. And they would say, I'm painting that. And that was how we just kept going. We spent 10 days and 10 nights on a field, under rain, under sun. When you say it was challenging, it was not just challenging, it was crazy. Now, the craziest part of this is this, right? When we're done with the painting, we could not, aboki, like, so like on aboki, they do labor, they do free labor for people, so they do labor, you pay them. So when we're doing the painting, it was raining, so mud covered the paint, as in the old canvas. So we brought, as their name is called, aboki, to come and help us clean this thing. They ran away because the work was just too much. People gave their life for that record to happen. It's not a joke. So when we're done, look at the size of the canvas. Each of the canvas was, we had 50 canvases joined together. Each size was a 130 feet by 10 feet. And we have 50 of it. Yes, I can remember very well. And we have 50 of it. To fold each of it was work. To carry one canvas, we have to be like at least 11 people carry one canvas. Then we were called upon 1 month later by Guinness World Record that, oh, this was the biggest record in Africa and we wanted to re-exhibit this record again. We couldn't get a clear view of what we painted, so please, can you be more strategic about your picture and the rest of it? How? So we have to move the painting. So don't forget, we've painted on the field, a football pitch where people are meant to play football. We took over the football pitch for 10 days. It wasn't a stand, it's a side football pitch, but basically it's not a stadium. So it was just a local stadium in our community. Then we have to go to a school to go and beg the school that, please, can we use your standard side football pitch to re-exhibit this painting? So the first record we have was a double record. So we have 2 certificates for 1 record. The first certificate came as what we broke, then Guinness World gave us the second certificate for Guinness World Record Day. That's it, still in my house. We're meant to be 5 certificates here today. So I have, instead of having 4 certificates for my Guinness record, I have 5 in total. So we have to re-exhibit, and that exhibition happened again. In doing that exhibition again was double work. So when you say challenging, that was meant to be my most challenging. But when we were now doing 50,000 children in one venue, that became more than challenging, because we have to look at child safety, you have to look at stampeding, you have to look at crowd control, you have to look at how do you pass this message of Global Hand Washing Day. We aimed at 50,000 children, but we couldn't get 50,000 children. We got 37,000 children in one venue. TBS. That was another crazy record. So if we say what were the most challenging record that I have, these were the 2 most challenging record that has ever happened to me in my whole life, actually. So Guinness World Record was not a thing for me, but I will say this to it, actually. You guys coming here today, it's a record. Records happened every day, but only few people document their record as either Guinness World Record or as a book or as something that you should just document. I get bored very easily, and I have trauma when I get bored. I need to get something going. So if I'm not doing something, only pay yellow. That means an idle man, the devil's workshop. So as much as possible, every day of my life, I try to break my own record itself. So what's the next thing we're doing? What's the next record we're setting? What's the next big thing you're doing? And as I said again, every day is a record. So documenting it, if I'm to document all my Guinness World Record, I've done over 150 Guinness World Record, which I didn't complete. Just that I have the largest presidential seal. It was done, I didn't complete it. I have the largest number of people coloring at once. It's all this. I have like over 100 Guinness World Record ongoing and I didn't complete it. I just started it. I broke the record, but I didn't document it. I just stopped it itself. So if you ask that what just kept me going actually itself is just, I just enjoy what I do. It's just fun for me. I'm an artist, and art is just do what you like doing and live for what you enjoy doing itself. That's what I do, majorly. So I've seen the clamor for a lot of people trying to break Guinness record in recent time, right? There's tons of people trying to break Guinness record in time, and the question comes around, does Guinness World Record pay? Guinness record do not pay. Literally, you pay Guinness World Record depending on the level of record you're breaking. So people pay as much as £12,000 to break a record. Yes. But again, it comes with personal accreditation, or it opens doors for you. It gives you a form of recognition that basically, it's like the highest level of recognition or achievement documented in a book in the world itself. So once you break a Guinness World Record, you have this shoulder pad that you've done something remarkable, something worth doing, something nobody has ever done, something noble. Let's use the word actually itself. So it's more like an Harvard or a Cambridge, or that's kind of thing that comes with the Guinness World Record, breaking of a Guinness World Record, or having a Guinness World Certificate attached to your portfolio itself. Again, I'm an artist and also a teacher. And if you look at what is art? Art is used to preserve legacy, it's used to preserve history, document events, and we look at the life of Picasso, Mona Lisa art, and the rest of it. What's the art then? Cubism, and all these arts are used to document history, time, places, people, and the rest of it. Nigerian history. If you ask, who was our first president, to a lot of young people now, they struggle with it. Who is on 10 naira notes? Some people don't even know. Who is Awolowo? Some people will struggle with Tafawa Balewa and the rest of it. And a country without history that does not preserve its history is going to extinction very soon. So we decided that let's tell our own story. Let's not wait for the Western world to tell a doctor story of our own history, of our own culture, of our own legacy. Why don't we tell our own story the way, exactly, undoctored, unscripted, exactly, word for word? I was like, okay, what can be the best medium of telling this story? We said, let's use animation, which is the best form of storytelling, where young people, children, can listen, can watch, and learn from our story itself. And we say, okay, how best should we tell our story? Should we start from 1960, which is one of the most exact date that a lot of people know? We said, no, let's go back in time, 65 years before independence, which will also capture our amalgamation and the rest of it. 65 years after independence, we capture all the First Republic, Second Republic, Third Republic actually itself. Who was the first military governor? Who was the first head of state? What happened in the time of Abacha? What happened in the time of Babangida and the rest of it? Let's put all of these things into a one-line documentary. 80 minutes, but not documentary storytelling style, but make it into an animated story and make it something children can watch, enjoy, and learn from it actually itself. This were the foundation of what we want to do in building a new animation legacy for Nigeria. But beyond that actually itself, let young people get to learn about our story. But even after that, what's the record itself? It's for the largest collaborative animation project. Not just me, but with over 100,000 people. Tell me the story about Nigeria that you know. Tell me the story about Nigeria that you know. And various people collaboratively sending multiple stories. Oh, do you know that the about women riots was not exactly, because a lot of our stories has fought back. We have social media now. Let's debate about these stories. Let's look at this story exactly how it happened, and let's document it using animation. That's what's all about. Let's make a Guinness World Record, not just for one person, not just for Adeton Shadenle, but it's our record. Let's come together and document the history of Nigeria. It's going to be a long record. It's going to start, the official opening of the record starts September 29th and 30th. Then October 1st will be the grand opening of the record making itself. It's going to take us 1 month for people to send in their multiple entries, stories that you know about Nigeria, history, culture, people, 774 local governments, over 400 languages, 500 tribes, everything you know about Nigeria, Jukum, Tiv, Efik, all of these tribes, let's get to understand them. The Nok art, the Thea culture art, the Igbo art, all of these things that has made us who we are today. Let's bring it together into one story. So we'll open up the portal for people to start sending in their multiple stories from October 1st. And while they're sending in their stories, we are also using to open a new industry, a digital industry, animation. We teach people how to do AI animation. Once you do it, whatever story you've sent to us, we will teach you how to write a prompt to put that story together. What we are doing in our own studio is collecting all the prompts and all the story written together into one animated movie, 80 minutes, a full-length movie, telling our own story itself.